Alright, welcome to the transformer equation video where we're going to show you how we derive it. So in the previous videos we've looked at what a transformer is, an ideal transformer. We said it's made up of a coil, right? We said it's made up of a core, a ferromagnetic core, and then we have some coils. So we have a primary coil. Let's call this NP for the number of coils in the primary coil, and the voltage is going to be VP. Okay, and let's just do 2 on this one over here for the secondary. So secondary coil, and then the voltage in the secondary coil. So let's move this down like that and go like that. Okay, and we'll add some wires, right? So there we have our fundamental basics. We have the input coil, the primary, and the output. Now remember, we also said that Faraday's law says that we can induce an EMF in a wire. So if you remember that, it's the EMF induced is equal to minus N, which is the number of coils, by the change in flux divided by the change in time. Well, EMF is basically just voltage, right? Because voltage is the change in electrical potential energy between two points. So if we just focus on the primary one here, let's write that over here. VP is equal to, and we'll just ignore the minus sign for the moment, Lenz's law, but is equal to N, the number of coils in the primary coil. Then we've got the change in flux divided by T. So if I divide both sides by the number of coils, I have VP over NP is equal to our change in flux over time. So what we're saying is that the magnitude of our change in flux per unit time is really dependent upon the ratio of our primary coil and the number of coils there. So the voltage in the primary coil to the number of coils. If we do the same for our secondary coil, let's do our secondary coil down here. So we've got the same induction happening over here, electromagnetic induction. So whatever, according to the law of conservation of energy, whatever the energy goes into this coil has to equal the energy coming out here. And we're assuming it's an ideal transformer. So everything that goes in there is equal to everything that comes out there. So the EMF that's induced here will be transformed 100% to the EMF over here. So we can use the same equation. So let's say we've got V2, or I should say Vs, right, is equal to Ns, change in flux over change in time. And so therefore the amount of flux that's being induced is proportional to the ratio between the voltage and the number of coils. Well, since both of these equal the same thing, that is the change in flux over time, and that's what's being transformed through our coil here, we can make these two equal each other. And so that's one form, I guess you could say, of what it looks like. Right? We're just saying that the ratio of the two are equal. We've got the primary coil on the left-hand side and the secondary coil on the right-hand side. So let's rearrange this equation to how it looks like on our HSC data sheet, where they have the voltage on one side and the number of coils on the other side. We know that the numerator is just Vs here times by 1 over the number of coils. That's the same thing. That's basically what's going on here. Okay. And then we have over here. So if I now divide both sides by Vs, that'll cancel, and then over here we will have Vp over Vs NP, and then we want to get the over here, so we want to times both sides by NP, timesing by NP, we'll cancel that out, timesing by NP, we'll put that on the numerator. So if we rewrite it, we have Vp over Vs equals Np over Ns. And that's how it looks on the HSC data sheet. But it's the same thing, you're just rearranging around to put it into a different form there. So we've got the voltage ratio between the two coils is equal to the number of coil ratio over here. So that is the transformer equation. Let's do a question. All right, so here's a question. You've got a phone charger and it says it's a transformer. And let's just do that, okay? And so you've got a phone charger transformer here. You've got 240 volts on the input side. And so your primary voltage is 240. And then your secondary voltage is 12 volts, right? So it's a step down transformer. And it says that you have 100 coils in the secondary coil. What's the number of coils in the primary coil? So really you've only got one unknown here. And so the formula we're looking at here is the primary and the secondary in terms of their voltage ratio. And then you have the number of coils in the primary divided by the number of coils in the secondary. And so the only unknown here is the number of coils in the primary. And so we plug our values in, and so we've got our primary voltage is 240 volts, secondary voltage is 12 volts, and then we have our number of coils here. And put that over here. And so then we end up having 240 times 100 divided by 12, and that turns out to be 2,000 turns. So therefore, our primary number of turns is 2,000. So we're going from 2,000 to 100, and so we're stepping down the voltage, right? So remember, the amount of energy going in the left-hand side is the same amount of energy going in the right-hand side, conservation of energy. If we have got a higher voltage and we want to go to a lower voltage, then that makes sense that we need to have a greater number of turns here so that we can step down the voltage. Okay, and that's in an ideal transformer, of course. If you remember, we're probably going to get some different values if we were to use a real transformer. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense with the transformer equation. See you in the next video where we continue this concept of transformers and how efficient they can be, because we're now going to start delving into non-ideal transformer conditions. See you then.